Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the second episode of the official FLG podcast. I'm here with Paul.
I'm Paul.
He is Paul. I don't know what else I was expecting. We got a couple things to talk about today, especially since there's a lot of controversy going on in the gaming world right now. This has been a pretty crazy week, to be honest. We're going to be hitting about what happened with Total Biscuit and the Gary's Incident game. As I like to call it, the Gary's Incident. Infinity Ward said some controversial things about fans of its game. We're going to touch on Terraria 2 versus Starbound. Are they shooting themselves in the foot by releasing those two games so close? I don't know. Going to talk about also something Nintendo said. Actually, technically Miyamoto said. So, yeah. Alright, well, we're going to start out with Call of Duty players are not hardcore gamers, says Infinity Ward.
Quote unquote hardcore gamers.
Yeah, quote, I think the word hardcore in there is the main.
Yeah, I mean, because they know they're gamers, because clearly they're buying their games, but I mean, come on. Like, it depends, because I mean, you get a lot of these casuals, these filthy casuals who come in and just buy, like, oh, Call of Duty's out, let me just go ahead and pop that in my console and annoy people. And plus, you got all the 12-year-olds who play. But I mean, back in the day, you know,
pre-Modern Warfare.
Let's just go ahead and jump in the time machine and crank that motherfucker backwards. You had Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 3, and even Modern Warfare 1. I
was great.
Those games were not catered to the casual crowd. You didn't have a bunch of people playing the FPS genre on console. I mean, Modern Warfare revolutionized that, and now we have the shit show of nonchalant FPSs coming out all the year, all the time. But
jelly on the face.
Oh god! But I mean, Modern Warfare 1, I played that for what, 50 or 60 in-game days, like tracked days. Like,
I'm pretty. That was a
disgusting.
That was like a gaming. Like that. Everyone was about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it changed the
landscape of multi-console FPS.
Everything after that had a leveling system with unlocks and somehow had created classes.
Yeah, you can see the inspiration.
The paradigm
from Modern
changed.
Warfare.
It did.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the only one that really didn't change all too much was Battlefield. You could customize your guns, but the classes remained the same.
Look at Halo 4. Even Halo.
Even Halo.
Yeah, like
starting to crunch under the paradigm, which I think Titanfall might change.
Titanfall. I think we mentioned how that makes me feel last week.
Yes.
In the state of my pants.
But I mean, saying that Call of Duty players aren't hardcore gamers, I can say some of them aren't, but that's with any crowd, though.
Yeah, just like I'd say most of the people who just play League of Legends aren't real PC gamers.
Yeah,
they're just kind of, oh, what's big and new? League of Legends?
Yeah.
I'm about that. Like, to be honest, I'd rather play with the Call of Duty babies than deal with that toxic fucking community, but that's just me. Game's like perfectly set up so you can blame everyone but yourself when you lose.
Exactly.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone go, my performance was not up to snuff. It's my fault we lost. No. Brr, I carried the team. Brr, 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 brr. Like, God, don't get me started.
My DPS in the middle save our life.
Go mid or I feed. I don't know, I feel like that's such a weird thing that Infinity Ward came out and said. Like, I feel like that, like, alienates people, that they basically were just like, oh yeah, you people who are, in love with the franchise, buy it, like, you guys aren't hardcore gamers. You have just too much serious loyalty and don't play anything but. And I'm like, you want them to buy your game.
Yeah, I was going to say, why are you complaining? You're breaking records every year with your sales. $1 billion in 24 hours.
It's just kind of so weird that they'd say that. Like, maybe, like, behind closed doors, but, like, they came out and said it. Like, really?
Yeah, I was going to say, if I was a loyal Call of Duty player, but if I still was and somebody said that about me, I'd just be like, yeah.
Well, guess who's not buying the next iteration? Did you hear about how they were giving out the $200 copy of Call of Duty Ghost at some convention? I don't think it was in America, but the first, like, so-and-so people that get there got a free copy, and they totally didn't put any rules on it.
Yeah.
The setup for there's like it's pushed in. There's like holes in it. People went insane to get it. Like pushing people over and shit like that.
Black
like,
Friday. I mean,
yeah, like it was definitely the Black Friday effect. Like people got violent over it. Like
over a video. I see that's something I can never do. If I don't get it, whatever.
Yeah, well, guess I'll wait till the next one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what the internet's for. I'll find it somewhere.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, this isn't the fucking world where we can order shit offline. Like, I mean,
I was gonna say most people have never heard of Go Hastings, and they're fantastic for buying games cheap.
Really, I've never heard of them either.
Exactly. It's an out-of-state retailer. That's why. That's why you look out-of-state. Like Newegg, people don't realize you can buy games off Newegg.
Yeah.
You know, that's the best part of the internet.
It's interesting that now, since since PC gaming is becoming more and more prevalent every day in the mainstream, I'd say, people are beating out Steam sales.
Yeah.
Like Amazon, GOG.
Amazon, especially, when the summer sale, Steam sale, Amazon was right there saying, yeah, hey, Steam, remember, we're still here.
Yeah,
exactly.
Still do the exact same it was kind of crazy that I wasn't, like, just buying shit off Steam. I was jumping all around buying stuff because they were legitimately competing with them. And, like, that's never really happened before.
No,
Steam always blew everyone out of the water, but now everyone wants a piece of the pie. I mean...
And do you blame them? I mean...
No, not at all.
Good old games, Green Man Gaming, I mean, they're all out there. I mean, they have deals every week. You just got to know where to look.
I just hope they take down Origin soon, so I don't have to deal with it anymore.
I highly doubt they ever will take down Origin. EA is just so...
Bro, what about Uplay?
Oh, God.
I don't think I heard anyone ever use that.
I mean, Origin isn't too bad. It doesn't have a download limit like Steam does.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, if you don't feel like dealing with EA...
Yeah,
that's the only issue.
If
on anything, just wait for a mod where you can just get around. Because I know with Battlefield some guy modded it so you don't ever have to launch out of Origin.
Oh, nice, yeah. Because just like I don't know, one of the reasons I like Steam is all my shit's there. Like
yeah, it's easy to have everything in one place.
Like you've seen, like I just sometimes I just like to take my Steam library, throw it in the grid view, and just be like, ugh,
look at all the
these are all I mean, like,
let me just roll
these
around.
are all my games. All of them. Like,
just throw them up in the air and roll around.
I know, like, that's one of the things I like is that I'm terrible that I'm like, oh my god, I need this game now. Let's sell all these games I love so I can get this game.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do that with Steam. I just have all my games forever, so I'm never like in that. I hate that when you're like, oh, do I still have? No, I don't. Fuck, I want it.
Yeah, that's
like,
why I stopped selling games to GameStop.
Exactly. You have your own fucking Steam library.
Yeah, I yesterday I was sitting down in Wendy's eating what was it, a crispy chicken tender thing. And I was just thinking because I had nobody to talk to. I was like, I really want to play SSX, like for no goddamn reason. Other than the fact is I want to do like helicopters in the air on a snowboard. And I was like, I still have that game. Fantastic. So I went home and played SSX for like 20 minutes. I was like, yeah, I remember why I stopped playing this game.
I love looking through my Steam library and I just go, what? What is this? When did I get this? Like Afterfall Dark Arena. What the fuck? When did I get that? I have no idea. I don't even know some of these games. Like, I'm pretty sure I looked at, like, there's a thing you can do that shows you, like, how many games you've played, how many games you've put, like, over 5 hours into, and how many games you haven't played. I'm pretty sure it said I haven't played, like, half of my games.
Yeah, that's how I was when I was buying 360 games all the time off sales. I just bought games to buy games because I was like, I'm going to play these at some point.
It's addicting, man. It honestly is. You're just like I literally remember being like, I think it was like a summer sale or two ago, and like I saw like Dead Space and Dead Space 2, which I played both of them before on sale for like $5 for both of them. I'm just like, maybe if I ever want to play it again, like that, like I did that with like BioShock, like so much stuff, just like maybe one day I'll play it again. Let's buy it. Like
that's what I love about console sales is they don't have a lot of those sales, like you're not constantly bludgeoned in to be like, oh well. Look at this game, it's only $5. Well, maybe one day in the near future, etc., have so many stipulations if you ever want to play it again.
Exactly.
Like El Shaddai was like $2 for like a month. I was just like, just because it's $2, I really want to buy it.
Right?
But I don't think I'll ever play it. What's the point of wasting the money?
Yeah, I got like the Hitman collection solely for Blood Money. Because that's the only Hitman game there is. I don't know what I'm talking about. I bought Hitman Collection and it came with one game. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Blood Money was just the pinnacle.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I couldn't really get into any of the other ones too much.
Silent Assassin, it's rough around the edges, but it's not too bad. I never played the first one.
This is King. Why do I have 3 King's Bounty games? I don't even know.
And keep in mind, a lot of them are probably humble bundles too. You probably have. I can honestly say you probably have like 100 games from.
Yeah, I'll definitely. I mean, you can. It's funny because you can like scroll through this and you can usually point out things. Like, be like, oh, that was from a humble bundle. Like just from the art and stuff like that.
Humble bundle.
I will say I have gotten some pretty I finally tried out Mountain Blade after hearing so much about it. So fun, such a fun, crazy game. I don't know. It kind of feels like Chivalry, but with more gameplay than just deathmatch.
Yeah.
This fucking I was rolling around burning villages with my troop of 30 guys. It was pretty cool. And the sequel with Fire and Sword, it's a little further ahead in history, so you have muskets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's so funny, just
well, I'll see you in 3 minutes.
I'll fucking fire again in a straight minute. Oh God, I have 5 painkiller games. Okay. Anyway, speaking of random ass PC games, Total Biscuit. The Gary's Incident. Basically what happened is, if you don't know Total Biscuit, he's a British YouTuber who his main thing is he does a series called WTF Is, where he does, a 40 to 60 minute look at a game that he's played a little bit, so it's not starting right at the beginning. Basically, this game came out, it's called Gary's Incident. I'm pretty sure it's a survival horror kind of deal. More just a survival simulator, I think. I'm not sure, but it wasn't that good. It came out of a failed Kickstarter project. I don't know how it came about, if it came from a failed Kickstarter project, but basically, he, as Total Biscuit does, he does a lot of indies and stuff like that. He usually hits pretty much everything that comes out. He reviewed it, slammed it, gave it a bad score, and, pointed out, it's, rightfully so. It has a lot of problems and stuff like that. Basically, what the developer decided to do, they didn't like that. Thank you, Twitter. They didn't like that. So, they pretty much abused YouTube's terms of service to get the video taken down, saying that he didn't have the right to monetize the video and stuff like that. Which, as he's totally, put out in the public that he did. He showed the emails where he asked them and stuff like that. And if you look, other YouTubers that aren't as big, because he's one of the biggest YouTubers pretty much in terms of gaming and stuff like that, even if they had something negative to say, their videos are still up.
Yeah.
So it's you could definitely tell that they were oh God, negative PR, what can we do? Which then they shot themselves in the foot, because they fucked with an extremely vocal YouTuber and pretty much invoked the rage of the entire YouTube community. Everyone's pissed. I saw Reddit was insane over this. I mean, they blow shit out of proportion a lot, but they were all about this incident. Because it definitely showed how stupid and, I don't know, YouTube's terms of service doesn't really do shit for the YouTuber itself.
Yeah, it's in it for themselves.
Yeah,
the terms of services.
Yeah, it's much more helpful to the developers and stuff like that versus the content creators. And this definitely put that into light for a lot of people, because it's definitely true. I mean, the whole 3-strike system and stuff like that, especially when it's so easily abused, as we just saw, is retarded. They need to have, I don't know, they need to basically, if someone wants to take something down like that, and unless, on a big YouTuber, I'm not talking some jackhole who fucking uploads Breaking Bad onto YouTube or something like that, an entire episode, but people who are making legitimate content, so there should be some kind of fucking, tribunal, fucking, I don't even know, where they have to, both present, their case, but it needs to be more even, I feel, because it's very skewed in terms of...
I know with Reverb Nation, which is a music hosting site for people who create their own music, my friend got somebody essentially claimed that the music he made was the other person's. And so they had to go through a whole process of them showing each other proof, and then they decided on what was what. So why more companies don't do something like that is kind of silly.
Because they're lazy.
Especially
Google,
YouTube.
too.
Yeah, especially YouTube, who's such a big thing in today's internet
it's
market.
huge.
I mean, I guess the way they see it is if somebody like Total Biscuit goes away, somebody else will step up in his place. So that's a kind of, especially with so many people wanting to jump in and start doing the commentaries and all that kind of shit.
Like, I'm gonna get YouTube famous with Minecraft and League of Legends videos, right?
Yep.
Yeah, right. I remember someone told me that, and I'm like, you'd have more luck pissing into the ocean, because that's basically what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, any success I've had on YouTube was doing something new before.
Yeah.
I remember my Cry of Fear series was doing great, and then PewDiePie came out with his Cry of Fear series.
Yep.
And
You gotta pick some sort of obscure game that nobody else has done. Trying to do a Call of Duty series. Good luck with that.
You know, it's kind of funny. You know, my Call of Cthulhu series that I did? Game Grumps started playing it.
Really?
And I'm like, oh, haha. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you gotta imagine that these big names go through these little YouTubers and take their ideas.
exactly. I would not doubt it. And I mean, like, I was talking to one of my friends who is a YouTuber and stuff like that. Like, he was able to quit his job because of YouTube.
Yeah.
And, like, he was telling me about there's just, like, lists and stuff like that 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 you can go through, and, like, games that they'll give you extra to play and stuff like that.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's crazy. Okay, let's see here. Now, I spent the weekend in Tampa basically playing the new Blaze Blue. Oh my god. It was such a good weekend. I also had Taco Bus, finally.
Yeah.
Which was pretty damn good. I gotta say. The hype was not for no reason. It was definitely really good. But I'm pretty sure it was Aaron who asked why people play fighting games. And it is...
There's not one reason.
There's not one reason. But in the purest form, it is one of the most even and fair matches of skills that you can get in gaming. It's truly your skill versus another person's skills with next to no randomness or anything like that.
Yeah.
You're on an even playing field. It's a true match of like
It's a true match of
manual
wits.
dexterity, wits, like all that. Like
It's everything everything gaming is about in a game.
exactly.
Because you can't do it in something like Call of Duty.
Yeah, because it'd be
I mean, you get lucky and hit detection can be off and it's whatever.
people. You know, you can run across someone who's just running by. No, fighting games, you are on. Boom! This is what's happening. There's nothing else going on. There's no one else
Exactly.
here.
It's
Like
just
this.
you focus on your opponent focuses on you, and good luck.
It's just, oh my god. And I don't know, the feeling of improving in fighting games is so nice. Like, this weekend, I was messing around with some of the new characters in Blaze Blue, and, like, my execution is my worst aspect, by far. Definitely, by far. I felt so good just fucking learning the new combos going through, like, the challenge mode and stuff like that. And it's like, when you take 20 minutes just like doing the same thing on the stick and it works, you're just like, yes, like, yes.
Yeah, there's no better feeling than lab time that translates into game-winning combos. I mean,
exactly.
I'm new into the fighting game scene with Injustice, and just being able to take something like a Grundy or something like that, and take his combos and take just like the move list, translate it into a string. And that string translates into a 49% combo if you can land it right. And it's just like...
yes. Being able to capitalize on situations is such a big thing. And I mean, like... It's kind of funny just because the Chrono Phantasm was so different. There's so many different things. Like, I remember I played Valkenheim, who's like a werewolf butler motherfucker. And, basically, his wolf form is like completely different, and I didn't know this. And the first time I picked him and did something, I changed into the wolf, pressed a button, and what I wanted to happen didn't happen. And I was just like, oh, I'm not turning into a wolf until I understand what goes on with this anymore. It was really, but like, even some of the best people, you know, all of the Florida anime gaming community, pretty much, or Air Dashers, whatever you want to say. We all got together in Tampa in this one guy's apartment, and the whole weekend we just fucking grinded this game out. You know, we had like 6 setups, all with like the same game. It just came out in Japan, so everyone like got point PSN cards from like Hong Kong and shit, so we could make Japanese PSN accounts and download it and stuff like that. Like
geography update: Hong Kong's in China.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, a lot of people get it from like Play Asia and like there's like a Hong Kong site and stuff like that. But
no, I know what you're getting at. Just in case Frank knows Hong Kong is in China. So
I do. We let everyone know that I'm not a complete tool.
Just imagining the post. Hong Kong's in China.
God damn it, Frank! Why is there only pictures? This is a podcast. I want video. Yeah, don't see. I mean, like, wow, what a fun video this would be, right? Me rolling my pant legs up.
Exactly. I was gonna say, why watch Frank play with his feet for 40 minutes? That's you're not missing much, goddammit.
No, I just progressively sit in weirder and weirder positions.
Which I guess would be kind of funny video. Just fast forward, time lapse.
Yeah, just throw like Benny Hill in the background. Oh god, YouTube. I'm sorry. Benny Hill, don't report me. I don't need another strike on this.
FLG is being sued for copyright infringement on Benny Hill music.
Oh my god. That's
really imagine.
I just wanted to say again with the whole Gary's incident thing. Basically, all the outrage on that, people looked even more into the company, and like there are totally like blatantly made up Metacritic positive reviews. They donated to their own Kickstarter, which still failed. Basically, they're shady as fuck, and their little decision to try to like one up a YouTuber by taking their video down has blown the fuck up in their face. Like, I don't see them making another game or anything like that, honestly.
Well, I mean, if you try to take down a big YouTuber, you got to keep in mind that he has
they're thousands vocal motherfuckers.
For one, they're vocal, and two, they have a legion of mindless kids, more than likely. Exactly. Mindless
13
gamers.
and 14-year-old kids who just hang on to any word.
Yeah, I mean, if you say, oh yeah, just go ahead and, downrate this guy's, game on Steam or whatever, they'll go ahead and do that.
I mean, I did for like my 100 subscribers thing, I did a playthrough of Mega Man X, which is one of my favorite games, and like, I think it was like Kutra or something like that was doing a Let's Play of it too at one point, and I was like, oh cool, I'm doing a Let's Play of this too, I'm a lot better than this guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the amount people... I'm pretty sure if I uploaded a video to this day on that account, someone would be, oh fuck, just like, who's it like?
There's a bunch of butthurt people.
It's crazy just how, like, crazy protective they are over these, like, people that don't give a shit about them. Like,
if you look at it, the same thing with companies. As I say, if you just replace Kutra with a Microsoft or a Sony, it's the exact same thing.
Well, we know all about fanboys here in Florida Gamers. On all ends of the spectrum.
Yes.
We love you all. I just want you to know that.
Master race bastards.
Oh, well, remember, last week we talked about this fucking terrible, terrible glitch in Pokemon X and Y that was, like, deleting save files and crazy shit like that. If you saved in, like, the biggest city in the game, Lumoy City, like, they finally, the Nintendo, aka Anti-Patch Doe, released a patch for it finally through the eShop, and to my knowledge, it's like the first time they've ever patched a handheld game, like, or something like that. I don't know. I can't. They're so early 2000s still. Like,
yeah,
I was like,
we can fix our games after we release them. Holy shit!
What? What?
There's a thing called the internet you can attach
I know,
to.
I'm still convinced they're not entirely sure that people can play video games online.
Yeah.
They were like, we tried it first with Brawl. The technology isn't there. What are you talking about? Actually, speaking of Nintendo, Miyamoto said, which is giving their current trend a little hard to believe, but according to Miyamoto, Nintendo's more interested in making new games than HD remakes. So I'm hoping that means we get some good new Nintendo IPs. First party Nintendo IPs. I'd be down for that.
No,
More HD remakes.
Yeah, I see that on the other end of the spectrum, though. When he says he wants to make new games over remakes, I'm thinking he just wants to make more games of the same stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's the last real new IP you've seen come out of Miyamoto's head? Pikmin?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's there, but I see more like him going back to like Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong and that kind of stuff. And
there
making
is that new Donkey Kong Country Returns coming out here soon.
Yeah. I mean, they did it with the Wii, and I mean, I'm sure they just want to bring back old franchises and make new games in those franchises. I mean, you don't see Nintendo putting out first-party new games. They just reinvent how the how the games play. I mean, look at Super Mario Sunshine, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Mario, and I go around and clean up paint. That was the game. Like, come on. I mean, like I said, they
Controlled
find...
like a dream, though.
It did.
I'll say that. I'm a stout supporter of Sunshine.
Oh, Sunshine was
yeah.
fun as hell when I played.
But, you know, it's still a Mario game.
It's still a
with
Mario
a gimmick.
game.
Yeah.
But like, same thing with Galaxy. It's just they reinvent how the game plays.
I think the new Super Mario 3D World or whatever 2 or whatever looks stupendous because I was a huge fan of how 3D Land on the 3DS played. It was pretty much controlled. It was Mario on a 3D plane, but everything, the level design and everything was so 2D Mario.
Yeah.
It was I prefer like 2D games a lot of the times, especially in terms of platformers because it's a lot easier to
judge.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to judge distances. Oh, fuck 3D on the 3DS. Well, I never did any good for anyone. Oh, fuck you. Yeah, it did. God, I hate that. And, you know, it hurts because in Pokemon, it was so like the 3D only is in like battles.
Yeah.
And if you turn on battles, the frame rate starts to chug.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Nintendo, you just gave up on this, didn't you? Like, but 3D Land basically totally appealed to me because it was the things I like about 3D Mario and all the things I love about 2D Mario. It was stupendous.
And like I said, that's Miyamoto and Nintendo not reinventing the wheel, but just adding stuff.
Yeah, adding spokes.
Can change it.
Yeah, adding spokes, shinies.
That's all they really have to do because the Nintendo fan base is so loyal.
Oh yeah, I'm one of them. I mean,
for Christ's sake, all they do is put out new machines just to play their games. They don't care if they play any other games because they don't need them.
They know. I mean, I'm pretty sure I read something that they could go through 2 failed consoles before they'd even have to start worrying. Like,
and to be 100% honest, why they don't stop making consoles and just selling their games multi-platform is beyond me because they can make a ton of money selling a $60 Mario game on
people would fucking fight over
an
that.
Xbox.
We'd have a death match between fucking Microsoft Exist and PS3. Like, we'd have to have like the game developer Kumite. Like,
but I mean, Nintendo could become that, that company that can sell their because everybody loves a Mario game. Doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, you can hand a 3-year-old a controller to play Mario, and that doesn't matter how good they do. They just enjoy playing the Mario game because it's simple. It's 3 buttons. So I don't see why Nintendo doesn't just get rid of their consoles because, I mean, the consoles aren't selling well.
Yeah.
I mean, the Wii U was essentially a failure.
Pretty much.
In the first year.
That's totally their fault, too.
It is.
Because
lackluster launch lineup is exactly
that and the lack of actually making a difference between the Wii U and the Wii. Most soccer moms don't. They're like, oh, a Wii U, isn't that a Wii? Didn't that already come out? It's the same thing, little Johnny.
Yep.
Let me get you Wonderful 101 for your Wii. Isn't that gonna be fun? Like,
I mean, it's like I said, they can do so much better with what they have than what they're doing with it.
I don't know, man. 3DS is literally outselling everything.
Well, I mean, I'm just talking home consoles.
Okay.
I mean, handhelds is a totally different
3DS
monster.
is, I'm pretty sure, literally outselling everything
Yeah,
right now.
well, I mean,
consoles, everything. Like
that's why Microsoft's keeping it to themselves. Why would they want to jump into
know
it?
that they can't.
That's why they're trying to jump into mobile.
I know.
market.
I always hear people like, "Oh, they should release a Microsoft handheld." Like, no, they shouldn't. They know that
market's tapped.
that market is tapped. Anyone besides Sony, barely, and Nintendo. Well, they don't even have Nintendo and Sony doesn't even have to concern themselves with them because mobile gaming will beat them out of the handheld market. They don't even have to worry about it.
That's why you see Microsoft jumping hard into the handheld.
Exactly. There's more and more,
hell, they made a Halo game, Spartan Assault, which got all right.
Yeah, for like the iPad or whatever. Like,
I mean, it's still. I mean, Microsoft knows where they can make their money, and they know it's not in handheld market because
it's monopolized.
I mean,
basically.
look at Sony. Sony's trying so hard.
The Vita's tanking so. Oh, excuse me. The Persona 4 Golden Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the Vita is great technology.
It honestly
it really is. But Nintendo, like just. All you guys say is, "Oh, the new 3DS is coming out," and you'll have a drove of people going.
Exactly, and like I said, I still to this day don't know how people didn't see that when they announced the 2DS. That the 2DS is the final nail in the Vita's coffin. I feel I can't wait to see the holiday sales comparison between that. I feel like the 2DS is there to fucking completely knock out the Vita. Like.
That's why PS4 is pushing so hard for Vita in whatever, I can't think of the word, integration.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we're trying to keep it alive.
Yeah, exactly.
CPR
it's like
as hard as we can here.
You can smell the fear on them pretty much.
Because they know. I mean, the PSP Go was just a shit show.
Oh, God, the PSP Go. And I loved my original PSP, but coming from using Nintendonium fucking handhelds, I went through 2 PSPs because they would be in my pocket and it would maybe like hit something in class, like you know how the little carriage is under the desk in River Ridge, like that there's like little things sticking out. It would be in my cargo pants pocket,
and if it touches
hit it like right on the screen's busted, no repair. Like went through 2 PSP. I'm like, oh my god, this is the most like fragile fucking system, but I loved it. I loved my PSP. There's no reason that I want a Vita. There's literally no reason. I couldn't justify buying one.
And like I said, there's no big killer apps for it right now. I mean, Nintendo
Unless
has
you're a
how many?
weeaboo and you just want to play Persona 4 for the 800th time. Just go to Japan!
Yeah, so let's say with Nintendo, all they have to do is bundle any one of their first-party games with it. I mean,
and it'll sell hotcakes. I mean, I still can't... I'm surprised they didn't do like a special Pokemon 2DS since they were coming out on the same day. Like, and so many people were buying it just to be a fucking 2DS machine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you got your Pokedex machine over there.
Pretty much. Pretty fucking much. Alright, now, let's talk about the fucking elephant in the room. About
the thing everybody on the internet in the world
past,
talking about.
2 days, there's been some shit going on. Adam Sessler.
Oh, Jesus.
Has been talking, and the way...
Vaguely talking, but he's been talking.
Basically, he's not officially allowed to say anything, but he is heavily hinting. The review game is about to get staged as a motherfucker, as it seems like. It seems like they are moving more and more towards... Any early reviews before the game comes out is going to take place, in their studios.
It's going to take place in a closed environment.
Where they can control things, I even can believe that the versions they play might be more scripted.
Yeah.
Just to make it feel better. You know what I'm saying? I do not like this.
Let me just throw this out there. All the people that are saying that it's going to happen are saying it's going to happen with Sony.
Yeah.
Not with Microsoft. Because they're saying it has nothing to do with the Xbox One. And what happens is, with Sony's launch... I believe what they said is their reviews are only going to get 2 full days with the console before they have to release their reviews. So 2 full days before the console actually launches, because the embargo more than likely lifts on review day. Now tell me, when you get a new console, how long does it take for you to go around and figure everything out about the console? A month?
Yeah.
At least, just to get the intricacies and see what's good and what isn't. These guys are getting 2 days before they have to put a review out. And they're doing it in a Sony compound. And that's how it's going to be. Like, other games are going to review. They're going to have 2 days to do it in a Sony compound.
Yeah.
They're not going to have it. And I mean, I think it was Marcus Beer that said it at Game Trailers. He says, I mean, if I don't get the game until release day and then review it myself, then that's how it's going to be. And I mean, he's not a small-time, person. He's a pretty big person when it comes to reviews. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not good. I know Adam Sessler's kind of overreacting about it, but, he's really opinionated, and he's probably one of the biggest honest, trustworthy opinions out there when it comes to video game reviews. I mean, everybody turns to him. I mean, because he doesn't bullshit.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's publishers too. Like, not even just like Sony or whatever. Like, it sounds like EA and Ubisoft are trying to make them in general play games in their studios under their supervisions on their consoles.
Not exactly, but I know Sony's the big hitter, the big console hitter when it comes to that. Because I know I've read a few things that say Microsoft's not involved with it at the moment. Mm-hmm. Not saying they're not going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
So, as much as I love Microsoft, I know they'll do something like that if they have to. But I mean, again, I think they said that they're getting a month with the Xbox One. Mm-hmm. They're getting in a more extended time than they are with the PS4, and Marcus Beer said, and I mean, anytime you have just a limited amount of time to review something like that, something's wrong. I mean, I don't know what's wrong, but something's wrong with it, and something's definitely off. That's why when you see these reviews for like a Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption or something like that comes out a week in advance, that's just a marketing ploy because they know it's going to get good reviews.
Yeah.
Same thing with something that's bad. They wait till release day so people go blindly buy it and then come home and it's like, oh shit, this got a 4.
Exactly.
So, Alien Colonial Marines, cough, cough.
I wanted it to be good so bad. I love Aliens.
They brought back Bill Paxton. God damn it.
Why?
I mean, I don't know. That's what scares me about this coming generation. Everything's going to be controlled.
Yeah, I'm honestly not jumping into this next generation for at least 6 months to a year. I have no interest, honestly. Like, I can't justify it. I can't justify it for myself to...
Titanfall?
Yeah, like, that's the only thing, alright?
I was going to say, let me just reel you back in with...
I want that so bad, but I'm not ready to deal with all the
You're not ready to buy a Titanfall machine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I'm going to buy a Titanfall machine, I'm going to upgrade my PC, to be honest. If that's the only thing getting for me, I'm going to take that money and put it into my PC instead, honestly, because let me play that with a mouse and keyboard. I'll be all about that. And is one of the only games that I'm truly, truly interested in so far, though.
Yeah,
like,
that comes out just strictly next gen.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there has not... I don't know, there's just no killer app for me. Like, nothing that makes me like, I need this. Like,
same thing with me for launch, but I mean...
Yeah,
I don't want it to hit like it did with like the PS3 and the 360 where there was a drought for almost a year. Mm-hmm. I'll just drop the money now. I mean, granted, the launch titles are pretty fucking weak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on both ends, exactly. Both ends. Like,
I mean, with Driver Club and Watch Dogs dropping out, Sony has, one exclusive, maybe? Yeah. The rest are all indie games that have come out on other platforms, like PlanetSide. Play it on PC for free. Yeah. You don't have to pay $400 to play PlanetSide.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, with the Xbox One, I want to play Rise. I'm going to get it through GameFly. If it doesn't come in, I'll just keep playing my 360. It's not that big of a deal.
But you already have Asura's Wrath.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have been saying that Rise is going to play now. It's not a QuickTime Event Fest, which is good. They're saying it flows a lot more like Arkham.
No.
That's what they're saying. Again,
that's what they're saying, but, until they show me.
That's the Examiner saying.
Yeah, so, exactly. Anything I've seen thus far is, like, press this button to do something awesome. Like, it's just like...
I need to get it in my hands. That's why I'm hoping they release demos day one.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to discount it just because of the things I've seen thus far. And that's one of the reasons that I'm waiting to get into next gen, because now, overall, in terms of what I think I would get a PS4, but 6 to 12 months down the line, it could be completely different. So I'm going to wait and see how the next gen evolves. What comes out, because the more time devs get to play with it, the smaller devs will be able to come out with stuff.
Exactly.
Like, the beginning of a generation of gaming is so...
It's so weak. It really
is. And I'm trying to think of the word for it, but it's so, it's just... it changes constantly.
It's
Like
temperamental.
the entire thing could. I mean, like I remember how gung ho I was for 360 to come out when it first came out, and then everyone's like, "Oh, they're exploding practically." Like
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god!" Like
Yeah, no, I mean, look how much the Xbox has changed in the 6 years.
Yes.
I mean, it went from the,
Shit,
the
aren't we
blades.
at like 8 years into this generation? Like, god damn.
I know it's been a long time, but I mean, if you look at even just the dashboard updates coming from the blades on the
Bro,
side
I
of the
love
screen,
the blades personally,
and then coming to the pop up, and then changing it from blue to white.
and then putting advertisements everywhere.
Well, I don't even care about the advertisements.
It doesn't
but-
affect me that much.
Because, I mean, they're advertising to what I want half the time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, hey, new Splinter Cell DLC. I was like, well, shit, I didn't know about that.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, so, I mean, advertising's fine. I mean, it's just the UI's changed so much, and they added apps, and then they added the internet features. I mean, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
But, like I said, if you look at the console, if you were to buy an old console and see the difference between them, it's night and day. It really is.
I wish they just put a straight browser in the Xbox.
Yeah.
Doesn't the PS3 have a browser? I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I would like that I don't have on my Xbox.
Yeah,
Most of the things that I would use a browser for on my Xbox are covered with like the YouTube app and stuff like that, but
Well, they do have a browser on there, the Internet Explorer app.
do they?
They do.
Shit.
Now, keep in mind, you're running on 512 RAM.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay,
Chugging,
let me just
chugging.
pull up my phone with 4 gigs of RAM. You know? Let me pull up my phone that's infinitely more powerful than the machine I paid $200 for.
Speaking of that kind of shit, how do you feel about all the Android-based stuff coming out?
Oh god, shoot me now. Like,
Right? I already have a fucking phone that I can play all. And if I really desperately wanted a physical control medium, download the app that lets me Bluetooth whatever the fuck I want. Grab like a PS3 controller. There's so many of those. I know Mark has that fucking
you can
like
plug it in both
cradle
ends.
for like a phone that has a fucking controller on
You
it.
can put a cradle in there, and then there's one where you can put in the speaker end and in the bottom end, and it plays. It has like it's like a Nintendo controller almost. I mean, what do you like really when you play phone games? What more do you need than like an Infinite Runner and like an RTS? Like, honestly,
Pretty much.
Like, when do you really have time to sit down and be like, well, I'm going to play Field Runners and maze this and do that?
Yeah,
like,
it's not.
Come on, really? It's just getting absurd. Like, the NVIDIA Shield. Like,
Yeah,
really?
like, I don't see the appeal in that in the least.
Ouya, like,
Dude, listen, I don't think I've seen a single Ouya be sold from the GameStop in the mall. I mean, like, I even saw my friend Miles, and I was like, oh, these are going off the shelves, right? I should get one right now. He's like, yeah, we're selling a coupon to the local gun shop, too, because when you buy it, then you can go buy a shotgun and off yourself, like everyone else who's bought an Ouya.
I mean, granted, it's good in theory, but who's going to develop these games? I mean, you're flooding
These
the market
free
with...
games that are only free for 6 months, too,
Yeah,
by the way. That is in the smallest text possible, like...
I mean, like, you're flooding the market with consoles.
Yeah, exactly.
And then developers don't know who they should do for. I mean,
The crash is coming.
It is.
Like,
it's imminent. I mean, it's getting bad. I mean, look how bad it was in the early mid '90s with all the Sega fucking games coming.
yeah,
to
fucking
consoles.
a Nomad.
Yeah, it's just like you have Sega Genesis, Sega CD, Sega CDX, Sega Saturn, Sega Saturn X, and they all come out within a 2-year period. It's
Exactly.
Like, fuck off, Sega.
What are you doing, Sega? Like,
And that's why when the Dreamcast came out, nobody had hope for it. It's just like, oh, and look what happens. It was the most revolutionary console to date
I'm
at
probably.
that time.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I look at a Dreamcast. I don't know.
And a manly
I feel like
out.
Dreamcast is a little overrated because it's a swan song. I mean, it was a great console, but
I think if it had
put
time
it
to
next to some of the other things, and the list of like games actually worthwhile is not as long.
No, I mean the game. Then again, it didn't really get past launch.
That's true.
I was gonna say it was dead at launch.
Pretty much.
I mean, if you would have given it a few years, I think it would have taken off.
There's a lot of good ideas.
I don't think Xbox.
A lot
might
of
have
it
come
was
out that point.
unpolished, though. I mean, like that's kind of like the thing with Gen 3 Pokemon, like Ruby and Sapphire. Invented a lot of good. It brought in a lot of good ideas and stuff like that, but it was super fucking unpolished until Emerald came out, and like Ruby and Sapphire kind of sucked. I'm sorry, don't kill me, but it was a lot worse than any other gen. Like, polish is so important. I feel like releasing a kind of like iffy product is so iffy, I guess.
And I mean, that's what's plaguing the new Batman game. That's why everybody is just,
Have you played it yet?
I have. And
did you get to the end of it by chance? I've heard that
I play like an hour at a time, and it's just like, man, I can be playing Arkham City. Like, it's just, it doesn't, the Batman voice kills me though, because it tries to sound like Christian Bale, and then at times he doesn't. And it's just like, make your mind up, dude. He's like, where is he? And it's just like, okay, trying to sound like Christian Bale, and then he just talks normally. It's just like,
hey.
How about like a consistency? Like, I heard the Joker sounds amazing. Like, I heard the Joker voice actor do a Killing Joke monologue, and it's just like, other than the laugh, he sounded like Mark Hamill. And I was perfectly fine with that. With the Batman actor, it's just like, come on, bro, like, pick a voice. Like, if you're gonna be normal Batman or you're gonna be throat cancer Batman.
Exactly.
Like, I don't care which one you choose, just stick with it. But I mean, the game, it just lacks something. It lacks that
polish.
It lacks that Paul Dini love, man. It's just like, you're just walking through, I mean, it's just like, this seems like a dead environment. It's just like half the stuff you've seen in Arkham City already. It's just like, oh, I'm in the plaza area. It's just
feels so
cool.
Reused.
It does.
And I've heard that there is a painfully terrible plot twist around the end. I don't know what it is, but I've heard multiple people say that it is like cringe-inducingly bad.
Yeah.
Like, fucking call up fucking M. Night Shyamalan. He had something to do with this. Like,
and I mean, I essentially jumped back in because I want more free flow action.
Yeah.
And that combat system still
it's so
makes
fun.
me chub.
It's so fun. Like, that's the bit. Let me ask you if you agree with me on this. I think Arkham City's a better game, but I think Arkham Asylum's a better Batman game.
No, it's very true.
Yeah, okay.
The way I see it is, Arkham City, it gives you the open world, which is great. But when do you ever see Batman swinging around a city?
Exactly.
Batman's not Spider-Man.
I know I'm like total minority in this from what it seems like. Does anyone remember when Batman was a detective? I like that. I like Detective Batman.
I can't say that. And in Origins, there's a few moments so far that have come up where he recreates scenes and stuff like that, which is really cool.
But it's primarily action hero Batman that has been the thing for the past
stands
like,
for
10 years.
Detective Comics, and Batman was their starting point.
Exactly.
So he starts as a detective. So I mean, why they don't go back to the roots?
I would love something like
just add a little more element.
Let's combine like L.A. Noire and like Arkham Asylum. Fuck it, why not? I think that would be fun. Just more detective work. I don't know. I don't like Batman jumping through windows and like punching out like 100 people. 100 people. Like,
well, I like that. Fuck that. That's Batman. Why can't he do that? He's Batman. It's like,
I don't know.
Any reason why you can't
I feel like Batman is in his
evolve
best versus street level.
Yeah.
Like, villains, gangsters. I hate when they throw Batman, like, into space, and they're like,
stupid stuff.
Punch out fucking Apocalypse. Like, what? Like, he's like, Doomsday, I'm Batman. like, and then he die. I don't know how those fucking writers would be able to do that, but I'm pretty sure at some point in the history of DC Comics, Batman's probably knocked out Doomsday with a fucking punch.
I was gonna say Yellow Lantern Batman. That's just, come on. He's the fear-inducing Batman. Christ's sake, man.
God damn it, he is the most
the
overwritten fan. Like, I hate to say that I do really like Batman, just because I hate why most people like Batman nowadays. Like,
it's the goddamn Batman.
He's the goddamn Batman.
And what's even better is when you read, I think it was Dark Knight Strikes Again, or one of the Frank Miller, All-Star Batman.
You have a bunch of the fucking omnibuses, don't you?
Yeah, I have a bunch of the comic.
I want to fucking borrow one of those from you, because you know me, I'm a manga guy. I prefer like the self-contained universes of like Asian comics and shit like that. But
that's why I love comics, though, because it can be self-aware. Like I said in All-Star Batman, Frank Miller writes in, and he actually writes into it. He says, so... and one of the persons says to Batman, what do you actually call your car the Batmobile? And he's like, I can do what I want because I'm the goddamn Batman. It's just like, yes, it's like, it's so shitty and cheesy,
self-aware,
but awesome. It's just like this. You can take Batman and make him do anything. He's honestly the utility belt of the universe, because I mean, he just has like no feelings. He's like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of everybody, and doesn't make a difference. I'm the Batman. Just like, fuck with a Robin, though. I mean, then he becomes all sentimental baby. But anything else?
Go! Drake!
Why did you do this? Jason Todd died.
Jason Todd. Well, at least he didn't drop the bass. I just want to someone just needs to like put together a bad dubstep song with like Bane clips. Just because I love the thing that I hated the most about Rises, which I don't like as a movie.
It's too many plot holes.
Yeah, it's fucking retarded. The thing that I was most originally I hated was Bane's voice. Became literally the thing that I like the most about this movie. Like,
my God,
best line in the entire movie be like, what would happen if I took your mask off? That would be very bad for you. Like, it's so comic book villain. I just for you. Like, I fucking love it. And
it's such a departure from Heath Ledger's Joker. It really is.
And then you have fucking Robin in there. Spoilers. Robin's in Dark Knight Rises.
Spoiler, 2 years later.
Ever since you walked into the orphanage, I knew you were Batman. I just knew. I fucking hate him, by the way. Ever since you first walked in, I knew you were the Batman. I just knew. Fucking, what's his name again? Fucking like Jason. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I knew you were the Batman. I fucking hate him so much.
Leave him alone, man. Inception was fantastic.
Oh my god.
Every time I hear that noise in a game,
I've still never even seen that movie.
Really?
I
Shame
really
on
need
you.
to. I know. I need to.
It's kind of funny because I was watching the trailers where there's the guy that actually says everything that happening in the trailer. Mm-hmm. It was an Assassin's Creed trailer, and it had that Inception noise where it just blah. He actually says Inception. Blah. I was just like, really? That's a thing now? Like, blah.
It's a thing. Oh my god. All right. Well, Paul, we've reached about 50 minutes. We've overshot our time by 20 minutes. It's about time to end this.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. We hope you enjoyed us fucking around for 50 minutes. One day, we're gonna actually do what we say and make this thing 30 minutes, but...
I wouldn't expect it anytime. It's just too easy.
Especially, I mean, this week, a lot of shit went down. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially with everything happening with Sony and Microsoft and all that fun shit, it's kind of hard to.
The closer we get to next gen launches, the more crazy shit that's.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't expect it till probably like March of next year, and then March of next year, guess what's dropping? Titanfall. So Titanfall episode, just mark it down.
They'll just have this. They'll just be like, "All right, Frank, are you ready?" And you're just gonna.
Yep.
Frank, stop that!
Titanfall's in the background. Turn it off.
What did I say? It make my pants tight. Alright, guys. We will see you guys later, and we hope to see everyone at the fucking 2-year, which is going to be awesome. November 15th. See you guys then, and then I think which day is it? I think the 24th of November is the next Insomniacs night. So, we will see everyone there. Y'all have a good one. This is Frank signing out, and...
It's Paul. I'll see you guys.